live at Ascot. It is Australia race number 9 for our Singapore viewers. Of course, it is the listed Burgess Queen Stakes over the 1400 metres. And again, this is going to be a cracking race. We saw it in the listed Belgravia, how talented some of these horses are, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they now go stepping up to 1400 metres, and especially in a smaller field where Showy Chloe obviously drew 11 last time, comes in now to barrier 8, so won't have to work as hard to find the lead or take a sit as well. So it is a very interesting race on paper. We're going to take a look at the replay of the Belgravia. Of course, a brilliant performance by Perfect Reflection, but do take note of Arcadia Dream, Showy Chloe, which fights on strongly, and Blackwood, which attacks the line as well in the yellow.
Right at the 300, Delicate Miss, headed by Man Booker, Mystic Maid, Senzo. Here's Showy Chloe winding up. Perfect Reflection gets into the clear. So does Blackwood, coming down the outside with their runs together. Showy Chloe closing in on Man Booker. Perfect Reflection, she's the one though over the top. Perfect Reflection dashes up. She remains unbeaten with a
brilliant victory there by Perfect Reflection, but so many horses to follow from that run. Arcadia Dream was sensational the way it attacked the line over those final 100 metres. The step up in distance looks ideal too. Showy Chloe did a mountain of work, so to finish 4th was a tremendous performance. And also Blackwood just showed that a horse that definitely wants more distance. To finish 3rd, only a 1.5 lengths behind Perfect Reflection. This horse is still flying and is going to have a very big campaign. Then have to analyse the weight difference as well. Obviously Perfect Reflection goes up 3 kilos for that victory, but the 1400 does look to be more ideal. So then Arcadia Dream only goes up the kilo, as does Showy Chloe and also Blackwood. So how you weigh that difference in the weights, a 2 kilo benefit to some of these other runners compared to what you saw, makes it a tough one to analyse. But I'm still going to go with number 2, Perfect Reflection. She's all class. She showed that in that run there, and get to have a look at the replay before. She was held up for so long, and Pike had to bite a time. Then once he let down, off she went from barrier 3. She shouldn't be in any trouble at all. The extra step up in distance is ideal for this horse. I know she carries more weight, but I think, again, she is the one to beat. From the stablemate Arcadia Dream, I still thought this was probably the better run of the race, especially those closing 100 metres. And there is no doubt that Arcadia Dream can beat Perfect Reflection. Jordan Turner takes the ride here, and if they have similar runs from barrier 3 and 4, don't be surprised to see Arcadia Dream pushing Perfect Reflection all the way. The other 2 runners that I said to take note of from the Belgravia are certainly in the mix as well, and very hard to separate. I speak of Showy Chloe and also Blackwood. Showy Chloe had to do a mountain of work. Now gets out to the 1400 metres again. The last time she was at this, it was in the Group 3 WA size. She won by 5 lengths, so enjoys the step up, should get a much easier trip and be pretty hard to beat. And number 3, Blackwood, tasted defeat for the first time, but geez, it was a good run down the outside, showed that late turn of foot, and again, the 1400 metres is going to be ideal. This is going to be a cracking race. I really couldn't separate the 4 that we just mentioned there. I'm going to be tipping number 2, Perfect Reflection, from number 6, Arcadia Dream, number 1, Showy Chloe, and number 3, Blackwood. Race number 6 at Ascot. It is Australia race number 11. It's the Group 3 Asian Bow Stakes over the 1400 metres. And we mentioned how good the field was in the race before. Well, it doesn't get much worse here. Dawn Approach, Belmont Girl, Real Love, Hazard My Sister Lil, just to mention a couple of the runners here. Really looking forward to seeing how Real Love returns, of course, the Group 2 Perth Cup winner, then went across to Caulfield, and now she returns here, the 5-year-old mare. So really looking forward to seeing how she runs first up. The replay, though, that we're going to take a look at was a horse that was first up as well, and that was Belmont Girl in the Group 3 Northerly. Attacked the line strongly, sat last as they approached the top of the straight, but the turn of foot was devastating late over the 1400 metres again. Second up, expecting improvement. Let's take a look at that performance now.
Leads from Fuchsia Bandana. Gia Dream Run came the way of Hazardbill on the rail. A length Royal Rada. Here's Winkin and Odd and Blackheart. Bart letting down as well. Resonates the leader. Fuchsia Bandana can't get to him, but here comes the big fellow. Blackheart Bart with Winkin and Odd with 100 to go. Blackheart Bart, Winkin and Odd in the middle. Gather up, Resonates. They go to the line. Little in it. Blackheart Bart, Winkin.
Really good run there by Belmont Girl, and of course a lot of these runners are in that race as well. She goes up 1.5 kilos from that performance. Bass Straight drops 2.5, so a big swing there. Hazardbill drops a kilo as well. My Sister Lil goes up 0.5 kilo, and Royal Rada drops 3.5. So you certainly have to take that into consideration when having a look at the form lines. Belmont Girl will improve second up. There's no doubt about that at all. Has won second up before and finished second. And that run, again, if there's speed in this race, which there should be, you'll see her turn a foot late. Drawn much better in barrier 2. Going up to the 58 kilos certainly is a bit of a concern. Number 1, Dawn Approach. We mentioned this on box seat last time. You hear 1400 metres for Dawn Approach and you go it's too far, but it's had 2 attempts at the distance for a second and a third. It's taken horses like Shiny Knight to beat this horse over the 1400 metres. So from barrier 5, you'd expect it to get a nice run. It was beaten by Akadasset at last start, but I think there's not as much speed in this race, so should be able to really relax out in front and then kick for home at the top of the straight. Number 4, Real Love. The trial was very good. Stepped out over the 1450 metres in that recent trial and won with these. We know that Adam Durant has these horses horse is fit enough. She is all class. I think she's really suited the 1400 metres first up. 58 kilos. We'll have to see how she handles that, but I think she's too good for this bunch, and we'll be waiting to see how she returns first up, as I mentioned. But that trial form indicated that she is well and truly ready to go. Number 6, Hazardbill, I think is a really interesting runner too here. Lucy Warwick has such a good record on this galloper. Joe as a party did nothing wrong last start, but this horse just runs, as do so many for Lucy Warwick, very strongly. And I think her getting on board, dropping the kilo, this horse from barrier 8 will be able to sit outside the leaders, cross with Dawn Approach if it wants. And again, I just think it runs at that nice cruising speed for her. So I think Hazardbill's right in the mix here. And My Sister Lil still hasn't placed at the distance over the 1400 metres from 4 attempts, but was only 2.5 lengths off Blackheart Butt, which showed that this horse really is back in career best form, and hopefully she can put in another strong performance here. Let's take a look at selections for the Asian Bow. I'm going to be tipping number 4, Real Love. From number 6, Hazardbill. Number 1, Dawn Approach. And number 3, Belmont Girl. Race number 7 at Ascot is Australia. Race number 13. It's over the 1200 metres, and an interesting race to analyse. We've got the Silverstream form for Regal Commander, but then a really impressive run last start of Happy with Kendall, which normally a horse that gets back and runs on. With the way that conditions were, was forced to go forward, proved too strong on that occasion, won by 2 lengths over Dark Alert, and that is the replay that we're going to take a look at now.
In the straight though, and the grey Happy with Kendall turned for home 2 in front, kicked away from Minimalist, and then came Smarty Wilson, then Dark Alert, now getting into the clear. Crown Choice, Secret Display, but with 100 left to go, it's all the grey. He's coming away Happy with Kendall, and is going to go on and score a very easy second up victory from Dark Alert.
It's a really good performance there by Happy with Kendall. It brought up its second career victory, and as I mentioned, normally likes just to be ridden quiet and then has that late burst late, but with the way that conditions were, they decided to go forward from barrier 11, and it paid off with that comfortable victory. Now, drawn in barrier 3, they have a couple of options. I still think they're going to want to take the sit here, and there is a little bit of speed in the race, so they'll be close enough. And that performance, we know this horse has got a lot of class at the 5-year-old. I think it'll be very hard to beat again. Number 7, Regal Commander, is the horse to beat though when you have a look at this race. Of course, a winner first up, then beaten by My Sister Lil, which is racing in the Asian Bow, and then beaten by Silverstream, and only by a long neck. William Pike takes the ride again. This horse has shown a great turn of foot in all of its runs. From barrier 10, it'll be forced to go back, but it should be able to again tap the line strongly, and for mine, it's probably one of the better bets of the day. Number 1, Full Clip. We talked about this at Box Seat. This is an Ascot horse that's had 21 attempts at the track for 3 victories and 10 placings, and straight away it returns to Ascot, and the form lines turn around. Just beaten by Mississippian by a short head, got grabbed at the final stage. Goes down to the 1200 metres now, has won at that distance on 2 occasions at the track and distance. Clint Johnson Porter takes the ride, so carries just 57 kilos, and will certainly be the one putting speed in this race. And number 8, Crown Choice as well, was a really good run behind Happy with Kendall. Drawn barrier 1 here, so should get a much cruisier trip, and when you look at the form lines behind My Sister Lil and Bomber Bay, is certainly in the mix here. 4 attempts at the track and distance for 2 victories and a third as well. I can't go past number 7, Regal Commander here on top for me. From number 4, Happy with Kendall, number 8, Crown Choice, and number 1, Full Clip. Race number 8 at Ascot is Australia. Race number 15 for our Singapore viewers, and a very open field here. A horse like Highly Secret to return. Then Zoe Tom Taya, a winner last start, but would have to win with a career high weight here. Well Trade has been attacking the line strongly. Alvarez won with the 59 kilos last start and drops to 56. Belle Levine now stretching out in distance, looks to be a big plus. And horses like Ocean Cracker, which got another win last start and stepped right up, you'd expect to improve. Key to Fame, Saker, the list goes on. It is a very open race. The replay that we're going to take a look at, I mentioned, was a winner last start, and that is Alvarez. Carried the 59 kilos to victory, which is a big effort. Just held on at the closing stages. Drops now back to the 1500, carries a 56.5. This horse is very honest, and we'll take a look at that victory now.
Home straight, they swing. Alvarez the leader. Here comes Credo with his run as well. Surfer Mac is battling, followed by Warrelake, and Alvarez in front, 200 left to go. Credo about to try and lay down the gauntlet. Warrelake and behind them, Alvarez kicking strongly from Credo. Alvarez, Credo, and here's Baramba's bid coming right down the outskirts of the track with a late run. On the
really strong performance by the 7-year-old, and this is what he can do. If you let him get away with the easy sectionals throughout the race, he can certainly finish it off. Dropping back to the 1500s ideal, and less weight as well. You wouldn't want to be letting this horse have too much distance on you going for home. I think Alvarez certainly one that can provide an upset. I don't have it in my 4 for this race, but going for 3 in a row now, of course, after that win at Kalgoorlie as well. Saker's the interesting runner in this race for mine, beaten by Liberty Rise last start, attacked the line strongly when got out. Drawn barrier 2, the 55.5 kilos. Still has only won the one race. Has had 9 placings from the 12 attempts. This horse is starting to hurt a lot of punters. I have no doubt that it will jump well and truly in the market again. Probably favourite. Whether it's going to burn punters again, we'll have to wait and see. But it suggests from barrier 2 that it should be a little bit closer this time. Lucy Warwick keeps the ride there. Number 11, Key to Fame, is another horse that can go forward with Alvarez from barrier 13. They'll use the speed early, cross and sit outside the leader. Just beaten by London Line over the 1500 metres last start. And I think this horse is right in the mix, 55.5 kilos. It reminds me a lot of Shalo from the Simon Miller stable as well. Can just get to the front and then continues to fight all the way to the line. Number 10, Step Right Up here, was beaten 5 lengths by Silverstream first up. Is 1 second up and I'm expecting improvement now. Drawn barrier 4, should get a really nice run throughout. This is a different horse. Obviously, the runs at Belmont were better. It's had 13 attempts at Ascot just for the 2 placings, but I think the horse has progressed since we last saw it at Ascot as well. So I'm expecting big improvement. I think it can really finish in your top 4 here and add hopefully a little bit of value to your exotics. Number 7, Belgravia is the interesting runner for mine. A listed winner, of course. You go through the form lines and see the horses that it raced against, and it is way too good for this field now. The first 2 runs, or the last 2 runs, beaten Universal Moon and Silverstream over the 1200 metres. The horse really struggled to keep up with them and then just didn't have that turn of foot. Now stepping up to the 1500, they'll go slower through the early stages, and I think we'll see that turn of foot late. Stephen Parnham keeps the ride. Barrier 3, I really think Belgravia will go out at a nice price and could be the one to beat. As I said, a listed winner, clearly has the class on her side, and I think we'll see her really return to her best over the 1500 metres. Let's take a look at the selections, and that's the way that I'm going to go. Number 7, Belgravia, from number 12, Saker, number 10, Step Right Up, and number 13, Helms Gate. Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of Box C, so it's time now to take a look at the best bets, and I'm hoping for number 7's late in the card. Race 7, number 7, Regal Commander, the best bet of the day for mine, and then hoping to get a little bit of value in the last. Race 8, number 7, Belgravia. I think we'll get a price about her. I think she can hopefully finish the day off in style. Race 7, number 7, race 8, number 7. Hopefully a very good day for you as well. Of course, Kiara Orakudu racing at Flemington, and then the Melbourne Cup Tuesday will be racing in at Ascot as well. So looking forward to analysing that with Ian Lenton again next week. Hopefully we found you a couple of winners. We'll see you again for another edition of Box C later on.